How does a company make money? A company makes money by providing a quality product. Quality meaning that the customer perceives that it has value and they're willing to pay for it. Um, when we talk about a product, it's important to keep in mind that a product can be an actual good, something that you can reach out and touch, like the clothes you wear, or food, or an automobile. There are also services, and services are not something that you can touch. Services would be a haircut, or healthcare, or having your taxes filed. Services is, and there's some types of products that are a combination of a good and a service. Say a restaurant. We all know that it's not necessarily just the food or the unique flavor. Also, the service can either keep us coming back to a restaurant or can turn us away from a restaurant. So some industries are dependent on providing both goods and services and doing it well. Now, how does that play into a quality organization? How does that play into a company being able to earn profits? It plays into things because in order to provide a quality product, a business has to rely on quality individuals, meaning individuals who are trained, who are able to do their job well, who are focused on customer satisfaction, and they seek to add value to the organization. Now, it's important to remember that customers aren't necessarily individuals who are coming into the organization from outside. Think of the information technology department. The information technology department of an organization serves every individual within the organization. So those people would be the information technology department's customers. So sometimes your customers are individuals who are already a part of the organization, and this is what we call an internal customer. Sometimes your customers are customers outside of the organization, and this is what we would call an external customer. The thing to keep in mind is that it does not matter what position you fill, you are serving customers, whether they be internal customers or external customers. And the extent to which you serve your customers well makes all of the difference in the company being successful. For example, you all are my customers. I have to make sure that I'm providing you with a quality education, that I'm providing you with accurate information and information that is valuable to you, and I have to make sure that the activities that I'm requiring of you are useful ones that will help to increase your knowledge of the subject. So you all are my customers. Now, every position within an organization has a customer. If you're an administrative assistant and you don't deal with outside individuals very often, then your customer is the individual that you are serving, the person who is in administration who needs the assistant. So you always have a customer. Keep this in mind. You have to do a good job and satisfy the customer. Now, when we talk about customers and when we talk about the employees who are serving the customers, we are talking about customer service. Customer service is incredibly important. However, customer service is something that we've seen a really big decline in the last 10 years. The use of technology has created an environment where people sometimes lack manners and where individuals are distracted by the technology. For example, I walked into McDonald's the other day on my way to White Sands, and I had my kids who were starving and driving me nuts. Walked up to place my order, and halfway through my order, I turned around to ask my child what they wanted to eat, and the individual thought this was a good time to take a text message. So after my child gave me the order, I had to stand there and wait for the cashier who was replying to a text message. This is unacceptable. This is terrible customer service. I will never go back to that McDonald's. I will drive out of my way to go all the way down Main to McDonald's before I would go to the one on Highway 70 again. And it's unfortunate that one person can cause this type of a reaction in customers, but it's true. It happens all the time. Let's talk about some terms that are very important when we're looking at customer service. The first one is competent. A competent employee is an employee who knows their job. They know the products that they're selling, and they are able to answer a customer's questions, and they're able to take care of the customer's needs. This is a competent employee. This means that they've been trained, that they have studied all of the products and understand them. Verizon has a really high level of expecting their employees to have high competency. Not only should they be able to troubleshoot problems with the phones, but they also have to know all the different phones that are on their floor and the different aspects of the phones, and there's a lot of information that they have to have, as well as the different plans and what the different plans provide. And they are expected to study this information constantly in order to provide competent service to their customers. And they do a fairly good job of this. The next one that we'll talk about is dependability. In order for you to provide good customer service, you have to be dependable. This means that you are going to do what you say you're going to do. If you tell a customer, let me look into that and I'll give you a call tomorrow, you need to call that customer tomorrow. This is being dependable. If you say, I'm going to send someone out to your house to look at that, you have to make sure you set up to have someone go out to the house to look at that. If I tell you I'm going to get something graded tonight, I have to get it graded tonight. Otherwise, I am not seen as being dependable. Your customers need to be able to depend on you, and the organization needs to be able to depend on you. The last term that we're going to discuss when we talk about customer service is being responsive. Being responsive means, one, you acknowledge the individual when they come into your area or into your organization. It means that you pay attention to them and not to your cell phone or your coworkers. It means that that customer is your priority. You are being responsive to them. It means engaging them, looking into their eyes. Now, I would also like to add that being responsive means you can tell when the individual would just like to be left alone and shop. If they aren't paying attention to you, if they're not making eye contact with you, then they're not engaged and they're really not that interested in what you have to say. You may actually provide better customer service if you walk away in this situation, but stay close by so that they can find you and ask a question if they need help. Customer service is really tricky. Some people try and do too good of a job and offend their customers, and some people just do a really poor job and offend their customers. So it's a very fine balance, but it's important to find that balance because customer service is huge. If you satisfy a customer, they will come back and the organization will more than likely be successful. If you have customers that are upset or feel that they received poor customer service, then they're not going to be back and the organization may end up having to close. Also, don't forget word of mouth. Word of mouth is incredibly important. People are very quick to say when an organization stinks and people shouldn't go there, and this can kill an organization. So think about that. Think about word of mouth and how you can satisfy the customer and meet their needs.